and lead their respective programs.
They get fuel, Roy, from their defense, and it fuels their team's defense. You're going to see both defenses on these teams really getting after it.
Buckeyes hosting here in Columbus once again underway. Cambridge connects right from the jump.
I'm not sure there's a better way to start the ball game for Jelani Cambridge than that action right there.
First touch for Notre Dame. Irish 12-6 in the ACC. On the road here in Columbus, Neo Ivy 4 straight seasons reaching the Sweet 16. Ayanna Moore outside to Prosper. Bounce pass to Coles, rejected by Lemila. Kennedy Cambridge inside to Lemila. And the bucket as you take a look at the starting 5 for the Buckeyes. Finishing a tie for 4th place in the Big Ten, led by Jelani Cambridge, her sister Kennedy, the defensive stopper for head coach Kevin McGuff.
And you see that 22 press that Ohio State just put on when they scored in transition. And that's something Notre Dame's going to have to really do a good job keeping their poise against it.
Starting 5 for the Irish, led by Hidalgo. Ayanna Moore put up big numbers from 3 in their opening round win against Fairfield. Cambridge starts on fire. And just like that, it's 6-0.
Well, no question, Jelani Cambridge is locked and loaded right now on both ends of the floor.
Moore off the pump fake. Back iron. Buckeyes corral it. That's Kennedy Cambridge. What a start for the home team. Jelani, that's a 3.
Well, you know that there's going to be a timeout. That is too fast of a start for Ohio State. Neo Ivy does not like what she's seeing right now.
Jelani Cambridge, coach, gets it done in so many ways. You were talking about her in our open. High-octane, electric player, second leading scorer in the Big Ten. The mid-range, check that box. Outside with the perimeter shot, check that box. She can do it all.
What does your All-American Jelani Cambridge do when she's trying to lead her team to the Sweet 16? Hey, how about take the jump ball and come down and shoot that pull-up jumper? She is on fire right now. She feels it, she knows how to create it, and she knows how to nail it. 3-ball, no problem. Bam! She's got that one too, Roy.
Buckeyes perfect from the field, as is Jelani Cambridge. 4 for 4. She's got 7 of Ohio State's 9 points. Wake-up call for Notre Dame early. Winner of this one goes to the Sweet 16, and here come the Irish. Little contact, no whistle. Moore hit the deck. Lemmy lost some contact to spin. Kennedy Cambridge with a bounce.
She's joining the party that her sister started right there. Kennedy Cambridge pushing the pace.
11-0 Buckeyes.
Notre Dame right now just has to find their footing. This press speeds you up. It makes you really question yourself. But they also have to present themselves to the ball.
First shot for Hidalgo. It comes up short. Lemila the rebound. And stolen by Hidalgo. The reverse, no.
We saw that Hidalgo steal just like that in their first round game against Fairfield.
Corner 3 off the mark by Ava Watson. Kennedy Cambridge gets it back. Operating in the paint. As we try to catch our breath here, Chance Gray at 3. Good box out by DeJesus.
A lot of contact right now. Those officials are letting them play. I like that personally. We'll see how long that goes.
That was a concern for you coming into this game to see how this game would be officiated.
You're right, because you want players to be able to play.
Coles tracks down her own miss. Moore left open for 3. Dangerous from outside, and she demonstrates why.
Now that's going to give Notre Dame a little bit of confidence right now. It's nice to see points on the board and see a shot fall in. Gives teammates confidence.
Jelani Cambridge penetrating mid-range. Remains perfect with 9.
You know, it's really tough, these ball screens. Notre Dame's going under ball screens on Cambridge. The problem becomes she's a really good pull-up jump shooter. So decisions are going to have to be made. How do we affect her getting downhill off a screen?
Buckeyes pressure, having an impact. Moore is as well her second triple.
Boy, that's a big, huge shot for Notre Dame right now. Moore is coming in hot.
And a steal. Hidalgo poked it free. Prosper off the bounce with the spin and the finish.
Beautiful move by Cass Prosper right there. She can handle the ball. She's 6'2" right there. Handling the ball, spin move, layup.
Coach, you better buckle up tonight. Better buckle up.
I'm about to fall out of my chair right now.
What a start. Cambridge off the screen, behind the back. Surveys and delivers a pass.
Much better defense right there on Cambridge because Prosper is big. She's got size to bother Cambridge.
Shot clock at 2. Cambridge off the front rim. Hidalgo on the move. Moore gets it again. Too strong that time. And Watson, a crafty maneuver and maintained possession. Chance Gray. Foul on the way up.
You know, we've talked about Hannah Hidalgo's ability to steal the ball. Look at her sneaking behind Cambridge right there and getting the deflection. But I'm so impressed right here by Cass Prosper. Her ball handling ability, the spin move and the finish. I mean, that's big-time basketball right there.
Big-time bucket. Lead down to 5. Gray at the stripe. Foul was called on Ayanna Moore. That's her first. And the first foul of this game.
Ayanna Moore, boy, Notre Dame, that couldn't have been more timely with those three-point shots right there to keep them right here close in this game.
You and I talked yesterday, watching both teams practice a final time here in Columbus, about X factors. And one of the points that we hit on was Ayanna Moore and Chance Gray. Could they be X factors in this game shooting the 3? Put back by Sanchez, 15-10.
Yeah, three-point shooters are definitely X factors because their shots, threes are like daggers. When you hit them, especially when you have to have them, they hit differently when you make them.
Steal number 3, Hannah Hidalgo, the defensive player of the year in the ACC, back-to-back years, and she shows you why.
Just never gives up on a play. She's so relentless in wanting the basketball. She will chase it down. She'll come from behind. It doesn't matter. She wants that ball.
Coach, it's hers. That's how she views it.
It's hers. Give it to me. Give it back.
Lemila from 16 connects. Check it. It was Kylie Kitts. That'll stop a 9-2 run.
Kitts coming off the bench now. She started the first 19 games of the season, then suffered an injury, an upper body injury. But she's a nice addition to come off of the bench now because she's got that three-point range at 6'4".
We didn't see her a lot in the first win against Howard for the Buckeyes just 48 hours ago. Hidalgo's shot rejected by Kennedy Cambridge. Ahead to Gray.
Boy, nice job, Ava Watson with the deflection and steal, and then gets the long pass down the floor. Ohio State clicking on all cylinders.
Prosper elbow J. And Kitts controls. Still waiting for the under 5 media timeout. Kitts picked off.
The pace is brutal in this game right now. I feel like I'm at an F1 race or something. They are going at each other.
Kitts on the hedge, yields to Kennedy Cambridge, one of the top defenders in the Big Ten this season.
You know, you've got 4 guards and then Kitts on the floor, who really is a guard, even at 6'4".
Sanchez was rejected in traffic. Cambridge the other way, no. KK Bransford checks in, delivers the outlet pass. Easy money for Hidalgo.
You probably wish Kennedy Cambridge probably wishes she had that shot back. Maybe not the best selection right there, but boy, these players are tired right now, Roy. They've been getting up and down at a really strong pace.
Ava Watson, short. Good back box out by Sanchez, and now Hidalgo weaving through traffic. Behind the back, Hannah. Tapped back in by Ohio State. Kennedy Cambridge can't believe it. I don't know that I've seen that recently.
I know I haven't seen that recently. I don't know if I've ever seen that, but Texas players playing hard, Roy. You just got to give it to her. She's working. She's trying to get the rebound. Things happen.
Two teams playing aggressive basketball without fouling. Watson. She'll get it back, corner three. That's good.
Beautiful teamwork. Absolutely picture-perfect teamwork right there. Smart play by Cambridge to get it back to Ava Watson. That's what Ava does. She shoots the three.
Buckeyes shooting 64%. Rejected out of bounds. Jelani Cambridge snuck in there.
What a game. What a pace. I know they need oxygen over there at the side.
Seed Ohio State, all a part of Regional 1 in Fort Worth. Get the winner of Illinois and Vanderbilt. That game later tonight, ESPN2, 7 o'clock Eastern. And what a start here. Notre Dame, an incredible bounce-back season of sorts after a slow January. A healthy KK Branchford made a difference starting February 1st. And Hannah Hidalgo, of course, the first player that we've ever seen win ACC Player of the Year, ACC Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons.
You know, when you watch Hannah Hidalgo in person, you know exactly why she won those awards. There's no doubt about it, because her defensive play on the floor is total fuel for her and her team. She is a phenomenal defender. If she doesn't win that Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, they need to check their rules.
Check themselves. Buckeyes, the 3 seed, 27-7 coming in a tie for 4th place. The Big Ten regular season. Those 9 quad 1 victories tied for 5th most here in D1. And Jelani Cambridge, 2nd team AP All-American, the 2nd leading scorer in the Big Ten, and absolutely electric to start here today.
No question. She was shot out of a cannon. I mean, that jump ball went up, and she was dialed in, locked in. And that's exactly what you want to see from your All-American. When she's leading like that with her game on the floor, everybody else has no other choice but to follow her down that path, and they are doing just that.
One piece of commentary here. What we've seen in the first 8.5 minutes is how basketball should be played.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Hidalgo open. Connects. That's a long 2.
Very well executed baseline out of bounds play right there. Gives her a good look. That's what you want to see, too.
Cambridge with 9. Hidalgo with 6. And the most electrifying point guard matchup you're going to see in college hoops this season. And they're guarding each other now. Off the backdoor cut, Cambridge. High arcer, no. Bransford clears. And Notre Dame wants to run. KK. Defended well by Kitts. Lemila the rebound. Kylie Kitts on the move. Tried to go behind the back. De Jesus was there.
A little bit sloppy right now. Players trying to make plays. Sometimes they don't work out. Boy, De Jesus, that would have been big right there for Notre Dame.
39% from 3. Off the mark and short there. Under a minute to go.
I like that shot, Roy. I like it when you're in rhythm and transition. That's a good shot.
And an offensive foul on the attempted screen of Hidalgo. And she made sure that she sold that one.
She did, and that's something I'd have to go back and look at that one again, because this is such a tough call to make, and I wouldn't want to be an official for this reason. She did lean into it, so that's a really good call right there. That's the one thing post players have to just be really cognizant of. Don't sling that hip out there. You're going to get it. You're going to get the call.
First foul called against the Buckeyes. The Irish only with 1 personal foul at this point as well. Shot clock is off. The end of a breathtaking first quarter. Hidalgo split the defenders. Great look inside to KK Bransford.
Beautiful play. Hidalgo just really heads up play right there. Beautifully executed last into the quarter play.
10 minutes in, the lead is 2 for the Buckeyes.
Was that the fastest quarter that we've seen in a long time right now?
Maybe the fastest in this tournament so far. just tuning in, you've missed quite a bit, actually, from the opening tip. Jelani Cambridge getting it done with 9 first-quarter points, Coach.
Yeah, and you've missed it because it's happening so fast. Both Cambridge and Hidalgo just coming out with big games. I said it earlier in the open. The stars come out when the lights are the brightest. And right now, these two stars are doing everything they can to will their team to a win, whether it's steals, shots, whatever it takes.
The lead is 2. The numbers on the left-hand side of your screen, impressive to start. And that only tells part of the story with Hidalgo. 3 first-quarter steals. She averages 5 per game. Bransford with position, no. Prosper tracks down the rebound.
Great O-board by Prosper, and those are important in games like this. You want those extra possessions because, boy, scoring is hard to come by against this defense.
Hidalgo, the nasty crossover, the step-back mid-range. Here's Cambridge. Double figures now with 11.
You know, love how she read the defense. There were 2 defenders in front of her, so she chose the pull-up. Very confident in that little 5-foot pull-up jumper.
Bransford very close to an over and back there. Kevin McGuff was in the ear of Teresa Stuck on that far side, indicating he thought that should have been a turnover. Bransford, healthy knee, connects.
She's been a great addition back after she had to sit during the middle of the conference season. Big difference maker.
Watson on the reverse, no.
See, the pace has kind of slowed a little bit now, Roy. Now we're in the second quarter. All the jitters are out. Now they're just sizing each other up.
This is the matchup to watch. Hidalgo and Cambridge. The spin, and inside. We are tied for the first time since this game began as Coles delivers the layup.
I tell you, that middle pick and roll is tough to defend. If you're not going to have anybody tagging in from the sides, then you get that wide open post shot right there.
Cambridge, the hot hand, steps inside the three-point arc, and the shot clock at 10. Turns it over to Jesus. 1-on-2 the other way. Notre Dame with its first lead.
This is difference making with Cass Prosper guarding Jelani Cambridge. So keep your eye on that. A bigger size guarding Cambridge gives her problems seeing around the defense. UCLA did it in the Big Ten tournament with Lauren Betts. It gave Cambridge problems.
Ohio State, before that shot, shooting 63% and finds itself down by 2.
It's going to be like this the whole game. They're going to go back and forth. These are just 2 very good teams on both ends of the floor.
Coles inside, Prosper somehow, some way. And Kennedy Cambridge went down and remains down on the floor in pain. A lot of contact inside, and Cambridge was going for the steal and almost sideswiped, hitting the floor hard.
You know, had a little bit of a buffer. Just by, we have the privilege of seeing it in a replay, but had a little bit of a buffer with her arm. Hopefully she's okay. I'm always more concerned when it deals with the head of a player taking a hard fall.
And you'll see trying to get around Kassan Prosper.
You know, hopefully, Roy, she did have the buffer of her arm there, but that was a hard fall. No question about it. The pop of the neck.
You always want to be extremely careful.
Absolutely.
An injury like that.
Absolutely.
She'll head back to the locker room for head coach Kevin McGuff. Buckeyes take over down 4. And Notre Dame in the midst of an 8-0 run. The Irish trailed by as many as 11 points early in the first quarter. Tiana Todd on the floor for the first time, the transfer from Boston College.
Todd brings a three-point shooting presence to the floor also that Notre Dame has to be aware of.
Buckeyes have gone cold to start our second quarter. They'll feed it inside to Coles. Lemmy-Law clears the rebound.
Lemmy-Law having a really good day on the boards, and that's definitely needed for Ohio State.
And they needed that shot in the worst way. Cambridge with 13.
You know, you wonder how it affects Cambridge because that's her sister that went out with the fall on the floor. She knocks that shot down.
How about Kassan Prosper? One-person press break.
She's playing really well today, and that's something that Notre Dame definitely needs out of her. Her game has grown. Remember, she's the most improved player in the ACC this past season.
I do remember, and she has played very well to start this NCAA tournament. Notre Dame starting to figure out and decipher this Buckeyes press. Ava Watson around Hidalgo, in and out.
Really giving Cambridge different looks. Sometimes Prosper's on her, then they'll switch screens on her, so it's kind of mixing some things up on her. So you've got two really nice high-level players here going back-to-back with buckets. Hannah Hidalgo. Oh, I'm sorry, Cass Prosper hitting shots. Cambridge coming down.
Buckeyes get it back, trailing by 4. Lemmy-Law will try to post up inside, and the pass deflected out of bounds by KK Bransford.
Boy, they're battling on the inside. I love it. I would love to have a designated camera on post play, because they
sure,
go
our producer
at it.
Rob Adamski could set that up for you.
They go at it, and we don't always see that because we're following the ball or looking out on the perimeter. Post players, they're getting after it down there.
Todd, her first NCAA tournament appearance going back 2 days ago. Now her second game coming in from Boston College, and short with a mid-range. Chance Gray getting set to check back in after Kennedy Cambridge went out with an injury moments ago. Coles outside to Moore. That's been her spot, but too strong again.
Most guards would have let that ball go out of bounds, but not Jelani Cambridge. She went and got that ball.
High off the glass, high degree of difficulty, and a foul inside against the Buckeyes, and that goes against Kitts. Lead is 4. 5 minutes in. Here our second quarter in Columbus. Taylor, we feel the same way here in Columbus, and Kennedy Cambridge, good news to report out of the locker room, but the emotions of March running high as she was injured moments ago, hitting the deck hard, trying to grab a rebound and trying to get around a Notre Dame post player. And we will see if she's able to give it a go at some point later on. Irish have it back. If you're just tuning in, they've trailed by as many as 11 points. A red-hot start by Ohio State, and a foul on the three-point attempt by DeJesus. Tiana Todd picks up the personal, and that equates to 3 free throws.
Yeah, that's one of those cardinal sins. Don't foul a three-point shooter. And you can be aggressive there, you can contest it as hard as you can, but you can't foul them. You got to position yourself out of the way. And she tried, but she just didn't. You got to do a better job than that.
I'm not blowing the whistle there. I mean, that's a bang-bang play off to the side. The shot was clear. I mean, it's clearly a subjective issue at that point in time, and you understand why they did. But don't forget, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. The second round concludes tonight. The Sweet 16 beginning on Friday. For more information Go to NCAA.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Am I wrong to think that way in your opinion?
Well, no, you're not. I mean, I can see it both ways. If you knock the shooter down, you knocked her down, and you got to call it. So she tried to get out of the way, but whatever. But hey, the bigger news is Kennedy Cambridge is back on the floor, so that's good for Ohio State.
Buckeyes need her, and that defense trailing by 7. It's been an 18-point swing in momentum. Lemila connects down low.
Boy, if they can start getting that action out of Lemila right there, that's really good for Ohio State.
She had 3 points in the opening win against Howard off the turnover. Gray to nobody. Sanchez picked it off easily. And Hidalgo turns it over.
Both teams trying to get back to that fast pace that we saw in the first quarter. And now we get an and one right there for Ohio State. Talk about frenetic pace right there. Both of these teams, again, Roy, we just know how big this game, the importance, the stakes of this game that are happening. Gets the and one right there.
Second foul on Ayanna Moore. Hit 2 big threes early in this one for the Irish. And Gray at the stripe, 88% this year. It was a 7-point lead moments ago. Now has been sliced to 2. Coach, you called it a game of runs. That's exactly what we've seen so far.
No question. And the defense is the one thing that both of these teams are relying on, trying to get the steals, deflections, so they can push pace.
Transfer now with 8. Lead back to 4. Cambridge thought about it. Right side of the paint. Up and under. Inside and good.
She's back, Roy. She is back. Kennedy Cambridge, what? What? You may not fell down and hit my head? Have no memory of that.
She literally may not.
I think you're exactly. I was just thinking that, actually.
She appears to be fine. Hidalgo. Elbow J. Kennedy Cambridge clears to her sister Jelani. Kennedy gets it back. Travel.
Yeah, just got a little bit ahead of herself right there, but it was nice to see her back on the floor. You don't want players getting hurt, but what a nice, strong move to the bucket right here against Cass Prosper. Remember, that's 6'2" you're shooting over, but she's got a little herky jerk right there.
That's one way to do it. Cambridge sisters, basketball family. It is showed up today in Columbus once again. Shot was short. Prosper on the way up. A lot of contact, little commentary, and Kassan going to shoot 2.
Yeah. Prosper worked hard for that one, going after the O board. I think Coles could have made the decision to pass her the ball instead of taking that shot. Yep, a lot of contact in there. The call is a good one.
Kassan Prosper out of Montreal, graduate student and most improved player in the ACC. Second team all-conference and a 2024 Olympian with Team Canada. Already 7 points and 3 boards.
Yeah, she's having a really nice day, Roy. And this is something Notre Dame needs out of her. She needs to play big and strong.
You got her to speak French to us the other day, which was nice.
That's right. It's beautiful. What a beautiful language that is.
I didn't understand a word.
I didn't either.
But it was absolutely spectacular. Off the steal. Crowd's going crazy here at the shot. They've been in it from the jump.
Yeah.
Kevin McGuff called that from the bench. 3-second violation.
And it was. It was 3 seconds.
We don't see that called all that often.
You really don't. You don't. But you've got to call it. It's too hard to guard someone in the paint for 4 or 5 seconds. That's just that's an advantage to the offense if you let it go.
Now the 6-3 matchup has produced some thrilling finishes these last 24 hours. Could that be the case again here today in Columbus? Lemila collects and delivers.
That's what Ohio State needs more of, that little pick and roll in the middle of the floor. Ava Watson makes a really nice decision on when to deliver the ball.
Hidalgo, no. Lemila called for the foul.
not sure. I'd have to look at that again. I thought Lemuel got a pretty good hand on the ball right here. Obviously, the fans think she got a clean look, too. Now, did they call it on Hidalgo or Lemuel?
Matt, thank you very much. Here in Columbus with Nell Fortner, Roy Philpott, Notre Dame, and Ohio State in a matchup with all the cachet you could possibly hope for. And a back-and-forth affair to start. The Buckeyes jumped out to an 11-point advantage before Notre Dame rallied to grab this 4-point lead. Meanwhile, a huge win in Iowa City for Kamora Johnson and Virginia. Coach, she poured in 28, and the Cavaliers and Coach Box get it done against Iowa.
Well, I didn't see that one coming. I know that's a disappointing loss for Iowa, but Virginia, Kamora Johnson, another excellent point guard in the sophomore class in the country. Well, no, she's a junior this year. That's right. But one of the really good point guards in the country. We're loaded with them this year.
Chance Gray off the mark, cleared by KK Bransford. Now healthy with that right knee. She's made a huge impact for Notre Dame, and it's late season surge.
They needed her to come back. She's a stabilizing force, experience on this Notre Dame team. Can nail some nice shots from the outside.
Big moment, Hidalgo inside. And Hannah Hidalgo in double figures with 10, the ACC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
Just so competitive. It's hard to stop Hidalgo. Well, there is no stopping Hidalgo.
And a sandwich screen. The foul's going to be called on Lemuel. That's her second.
See Hidalgo's finish right here. She goes strong to the basket, and we see this is her game right here. She's going to go strong, a little bit of an acrobatics finish. That's not unusual for Hidalgo.
It's an All-American point guard against an All-American point guard, requiring a little razzle-dazzle to score 9th and 10th points of this game.
Yeah, and the best thing about it, they both have razzle-dazzle. That's why it's so much fun to watch them play.
Lead back to 6 for the Irish. Big possessions here at the end of the half. DeJesus against Kennedy Cambridge, sister of Jelani, and a foul on the left side of the paint.
Kennedy Cambridge reached in right there, and she knows she fouled. She's not arguing the foul call. I think she's arguing what it was on the floor as opposed to shooting.
Now, for those just tuning in on ESPN, Buckeyes started out on fire, including Jelani Cambridge. 13 points so far. Hidalgo has matched her with 10 of her own. And the Irish with an 8-0 burst in this quarter. Now lead by 7.
So to just give a quick synopsis on what this game is like, Roy. Remember we were talking, what is it, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds?
That's fast.
That's this game. That is this game.
Irish have their largest lead at 8. Buckeyes can play for the final shot of the half. Cambridge behind the back to avoid Hidalgo.
Hidalgo is just like a little gnat out there. She is so pesky trying to get the ball.
Buckle up here. Cambridge against Hidalgo. Good on good. Step back, Jay. Hidalgo wins that battle. And Notre Dame with an 8-point advantage 20 minutes in here in Columbus.
And that's not what it felt like when the game started. We wouldn't have thought an 8-point advantage Notre Dame because Ohio State was shot out of a cannon, but Notre Dame kept their poise.
Hidalgo with 10, Cambridge with 13. Irish have the advantage. Halftime here. Let's send you to the studio. Taylor Tannenbaum, Muffin McGraw, Megan McEwen. Take it away. Two quarters in the books back in Columbus as we attempt to catch our breath. An incredible pace, high-octane offense. Ohio State shot 50% in the first 2 quarters, yet trails by 8 here at halftime. Nell Fortner, Roy Philpott. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm worn out, but I can't wait for the second half. But I tell you one thing, let's talk about one thing Notre Dame did really well. they shot the free throw at the free throw line really well. 9 for 9. And in these high-stakes games against two really high-level teams, the free throw line becomes very, very important. So when you get there, you want to knock them down. And Notre Dame's doing it at a really good, at 100%.
Buckeyes have been at this hurdle each of the last two postseasons in the round of 32 with a home game hosting. 2 years ago, fell to Duke. Last season, fell to the Lady Vols. Notre Dame, as you saw on the graphic, attempting for 5 consecutive Sweet 16s, all under head coach Niele Ivey's direction. Third quarter underway. Buckeyes have it first. Kennedy Cambridge is healthy from 15. She'll get back her own miss against Hidalgo. On the deck to save the possession. Can't do it.
A lot of contact in that play right there. But again, the officials letting him play.
Take a look at our lineups on the floor, brought to you by Capital One. And for the Fighting Irish, connecting on that opening possession, led by Hannah Hidalgo, Player of the Year in the ACC, and the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. After the 3 by DeJesus. For the Buckeyes, they're 5 on the floor, brought to you by Capital One. Kennedy Cambridge, first team all Big Ten, second leading scorer in the conference with 13 at the break. And a foul inside, much to the delight of this Ohio State crowd.
Yeah, good job by Cambridge, staying with her missed shot for the O-boards. Notre Dame paying it off with second chance points opportunity in the second half. And now Ohio State has to do the same thing. Give themselves extra opportunities and get themselves to the free throw line and knock it down.
Take a look at our slam dunk matchup, brought to you by Wendy's. High octane is the phrase between two All-American point guards, Hidalgo and Cambridge, combined to score 23 between them in the first half. Hidalgo with 4 steals has been absolutely electric as a defensive player.
She has been. It's the fuel that drives her, and it's the fuel that feeds the team.
A couple of free throws by Jelani's sister, Kennedy. 46-37.
Notre Dame slowing it down, running a little half-court offense, and they like to run some set plays within this offense.
DeJesus again, not this time. Coles on the offensive glass. Ayanna Moore driving. Ayanna Moore finishing.
You see how she used her body to shield off Ava Watson. That's a strong guard right there, being able to take that contact and finish. That's not an easy play. That was a beautiful finish by Moore. 2
huge threes to start the scoring for Notre Dame, trailing 11-0 early. Jelani Cambridge, no. Hidalgo stole it away from Lemila.
She loves going after a rebound. A player rebounds the ball. She's in there trying to grab it before they have time to think.
Euro from the free throw line connects with a mid-range.
She's on fuego right now, Roy. Got to call a timeout. Got to try to cool her down, but there's no cooling down. Hannah Hidalgo. Not sure there's a plan for that.
50-37. I don't know that I've seen this kind of shot making before. That's a long way from the bucket for a Euro. She gets it to drop, and the job is done. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And the second round is presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. Ivey was the point guard, and you go back to that team that won the 2001 National Championship. Kevin McGuff and Letitia McGuff, now married and with a large family. Niele Ivey remains very close with Letitia to this very day, and in fact is the godmother to McGuff's daughter, Lily, which is incredible. The families are very tight. There haven't been a lot of conversations this week. Niele talked about it with us yesterday, and certainly she's excited to be here, but she wants to win. But amazing to think Kevin McGuff was the first coach to hire Niele Ivey as a coach when he was the head man at Xavier.
And I remember that. I remember when Niele started coaching. I coached Niele with the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, and she got into coaching. But you know, coaching staffs are extremely tight, bonded groups of people because you work so hard together. Long days, late nights, stressful games. So the bond between coaching staffs is incredibly important, and it runs deep.
Out of the timeout, Jelani Cambridge misses the three. Notre Dame gets it back with its largest lead at 13. On a 13-2 run since the Buckeyes cut that lead down to 2 late in the first half. It's been a different game since then. Hassan Prosper against the smaller Cambridge. Prosper goes to work, double teamed, and fell down. Lob ahead to Kennedy Cambridge. Lemmy-Law.
Oh, way to follow Lemmy-Law right there. Following, chasing down the play right there. Smart move by her. Difference making for Ohio State.
And coach, Basket yields the 2-2-1 full court pressure. Irish are able to beat it. They'll set up their offense with 18 on the clock.
That's right. We didn't see a whole lot of it in the second quarter, and they've got to get back to that. It's who they are, but you've got to score in order to get it set.
And the lob out of bounds back to the Buckeyes.
The Lemmy-Law is 6'6". Remember, 6'6" sophomore out of Finland right here, chasing the play down. Don't give up on it. Really nice heads-up play by Kennedy Cambridge to pass the ball.
What did you tell me about players from Finland?
They're gritty. They're very gritty. It's like one of their national words for themselves as a people as a whole.
DeJesus trying to bust through the screen, called for the foul.
Lemmy-Law didn't have the best day, I wouldn't say, against Howard. She's being used a little more today, and she's coming through for him. But she's a good rebounder, but that size is difference-making for Ohio State.
Cambridge for three and a big-time bucket.
Well, that three is difference-making for Ohio State, too. Jelani Cambridge, third quarter.
First points of the second half for Jelani Cambridge. First team all Big Ten. Lead down to 8. Wild shot, Cambridge clears. Cambridge against Hidalgo. And a late whistle comes in. Cambridge hit the deck hard. Spins around and appears to be okay, but moments ago the triple, coach.
Yeah, Hidalgo gets free. I'm sorry, Cambridge gets free on the perimeter right here. You went under the screen, and you go under the screen to take away her downhill drive, because see how she gets downhill? She's so strong. And had Ayanna Moore not jumped to try on that block, she probably could have drawn a charge right there on Cambridge. So you got to be really smart about how you play her.
It's the third foul on Moore. She's had some big shots already today. Cambridge with 17 points. And the lead down to 7. It was 13 moments ago.
Well, we need to put a stopwatch on Jelani Cambridge and how fast she gets from one end of the floor to the other. It's got to be, it doesn't take long.
Well, both Jelani and Hannah spent part of last summer trying out for Team USA's senior team AmeriCup roster. And Hannah was the one that said, I thought she was the fastest one in camp. And she said, Jelani beat me by a mile in terms of speed.
That's incredible, because Hannah's pretty dang fast herself.
7-0 burst for the Buckeyes. Back in it.
The switching defense right here by Ohio State on the guard play.
This crowd starting to make its presence felt. Inside to Coles. Collects a no. Lemmy-Law with a rebound. Here comes Kennedy Cambridge. Now it's Chance Gray's turn. And the pass wraps out of bounds.
That was a very ambitious pass by Chance Gray. I think she was hoping Lemmy-Law was going to move, but that was hoping and a little over ambitious. Players trying to make plays out here, Roy, and that's just competition.
Welcome to the round of 32. Bransford, no. Jelani Cambridge skies for the board. Big possession here for the Buckeyes. A chance to make it a one-possession game. And Ava Watson does exactly that. And now a 10-0 run for Ohio State.
And that's exactly what you want to do. Push the pace, draw the defense into the paint in transition, and find your open shooter, one of your best three-point shooters on your team. That's Ava Watson right here, nailing it from the corner.
Ohio State in the midst of a 10-0 run. Sharing is caring for the Buckeyes as Notre Dame is now scoreless in the last 3+ minutes.
You're right, Roy, and I tell you, this game of runs, that's what it is right now. Ohio State is making a really good one, but look how fast Jelani Cambridge is getting down the floor. Ava Watson getting that corner, and she does, and knocks this down. Forces Notre Dame to take the timeout. Ohio State finding their rhythm again.
It's been a game of runs. The Buckeyes started out on fire, leading Notre Dame 11-0. Back in the early stages of our first quarter, Irish rallied, led by Hannah Hidalgo, and now Ohio State has punched back. Hidalgo double-teamed off the trap. Kassan Prosper to the rack, finds a way, and a chance for three.
I think Prosper is having one of her best days today. She is playing so confident right here. Swing through move right there. She challenges Lemila, and she gets the and one. That's the most impressive thing, is to finish. Look at her going strong to the basket, focusing on the finish. Gets the and one. I love that.
Coach, that ball hit the rim on the way up and then dropped. And maybe it's going to be Notre Dame's night when you make shots like that while she was being fouled.
Well, they do have the luck of the Irish.
Third foul on Lemila. Well said by you. Lead back to 5. There's certainly nothing lucky about this roster that gained close to full strength health starting on February 1st. Return of KK Bransford. Kicks rejected out of bounds.
Really nice defensive rotation here by Notre Dame to get this stop. And again, Prosper guarding Cambridge, making it difficult for her to have vision and see around her. And then she gets back on the play right here for the block on Kylie Kitts. That's staying locked in.
Shot clock winding down. Watson, no. Hidalgo claims the rebound. Knocks over Cambridge in the process. Little start-stop. Hidalgo, the floater. That's her game.
That is, she likes that floater as opposed to taking it and finishing hard at the rim. She's really, really accurate in her 2-point field goal percentage.
And Coach, that release is high at her size. Cambridge, the response! What a play!
Beautiful response. You couldn't have said it better right there, Roy. This is a strong finish going up against Prosper right here. That's 6'2" again going against her. It's a contest, but she nails her on that one. But it's the finish that's so impressive. But I said this earlier in the game. She likes to get to the rim. She doesn't mind the contact. She's looking for the finish and the and one. She's not just shooting the ball, Roy, just to shoot it. Hey, I hope I get the foul and get. No, she wants 3 points on the play, not just 2.
Now with 20 in the game, was holding her hand and kind of wincing a little bit right now in some pain after she fell down to the deck. Impressive play to lead back to 4.
Again, the press is set. And this is what that press does to you. It wears you out, and it'll make you make poor decisions, because that was an unforced turnover. That was nothing really the press did other than get set on you.
Watch that angle. And Cambridge with a little English on the end off the window.
Beautiful. That takes time. That takes just, I mean, being a player in the gym a lot to figure that shot out.
Just right off the back of the rim. That one was off glass. Jelani Cambridge with 23, back to a 1-possession game. Little dicey on the pass.
Yep, a little bit different. They're denying the pass inbound instead of setting back in the 3-quarter press. Giving a little more pressure to Notre Dame right there.
Interesting decision by KK Bransford to pull it out when she had perhaps a one-on-one battle at the rim. They'll slow it down for a moment. Hidalgo off 1 foot. Oh, the swipe! And a foul called as Jelani Cambridge fell down again.
We've seen Hidalgo make steals just like this, gets directly in front of the ball handler and tries to swipe it on the side right here, but clips her with her leg and ends up tripping Jelani.
Third foul on number 3, Hannah Hidalgo. Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. Huge numbers in the win against Fairfield, including 8 steals. A Notre Dame postseason single game record, but 3 fouls tonight, with her team holding on to a 2-point lead, and the Buckeyes now in the bonus, and Cambridge a chance to tie it up.
Yep, Hidalgo's going to have to be really smart about how she plays the ball now and going for steals, because she can't afford to pick up her 4th one before this 3rd quarter is out. But what a comeback, a run by Ohio State, just never giving up.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Short. Lead remains 1 for the Irish. Hidalgo pressing. Hidalgo too strong. Prosper grabs a rebound. Kassan Prosper does so many things for head coach Neil Ivey in this Notre Dame program. 10 points, 4 boards, a couple of dimes today. Pillar of stability. Hidalgo, Bransford for 3. KK Bransford, only 5 made triples this season. Sends it out of bounds.
Yeah, but I tell you what, she had a great look right there, and she's going to have to be a goldfish. Just like Ted Lasso says, be a goldfish. Forget it. They have no memory. So right now, KK Bransford, it's a good look. Move on.
That helps in broadcasting at times, too.
That's right.
Cambridge picked up by Hidalgo. Hannah's got to be careful with the 3 fouls. Gray launching. And Hidalgo, the leaping rebound, her 7th.
Such a good rebounding guard. That's a luxury to have also.
Coach, she defines toughness and a pure score as well. Give her 16.
So quick to the hole right there. All the way there, had a little reverse layup. But she's such a gamer. She's so competitive. She saw an opening and she took it.
Cambridge against Hidalgo, retreats. And right over the outstretched arms of Lemila, Notre Dame has it.
I like this right now. DeJesus, with her on the floor, she can get the ball out of Hidalgo's hands. Give her a little rest here, because if you're going to rest, you rest on the offensive end. You don't rest on the defensive end.
When maybe the first time I can recall seeing Hannah Hidalgo with deep breaths. Rarely is she challenged the way that she is tonight. DeJesus, Bransford. And a foul was called right as the shot clock expired. And it's a blocking foul against Watson.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Watson right there because of the shot clock. But great cut, great basketball cut move by KK Bransford right there. Recognizing her defense had her back to her. And she hit that open lane. There goes Cambridge for the ball. She's guarding Bransford. So she makes that strong cut to the hole.
Chance to extend the lead. Bransford with 9 points and 6 rebounds to go along with 3 assists.
Again, this free throw line is going to become important. It has been already in this half. Both teams have only missed 1 apiece. But it's going to be really important towards the end of this game because it's so close right now. Every point matters.
It's a 13-point lead for Notre Dame earlier in this 3rd quarter. An 8-point advantage at halftime. Critical for the Buckeyes to finish this 3rd quarter in strong fashion. Cambridge will do that with a chance at the free throw line.
Yeah, DeJesus, that's a tough ask right there to stop Cambridge. Head down, driving baseline. You'll take your chance with her at the free throw line right here.
Now, we talked with Jelani this weekend about her performance this year. We asked her, what did you learn last year in the dance? And she said it's one and done. It's now or never. You got to play your very best to make it to the Sweet 16. And she has carried that over beautifully now as a sophomore. And look at her production tonight, Coach. 25 points, 9 of 17 from the floor with 5 rebounds.
Yeah, she's so much improved from last year. Much more mature. Her floor game is better. The way she runs the team is better. And she's only a sophomore. That's the crazy thing.
Buckeyes will get one more possession, provided Notre Dame doesn't claim an offensive rebound here on a missed shot. Hidalgo, ball on a string. Right side of the paint, too strong. She'll track it down. Stepped out of bounds, though.
Yeah, her speed and quickness is you just can't even believe it sometimes. She misses that shot, falls out of bounds, and then gets back in bounds and gets the rebound, the long ball rebound. It's really incredible how relentless she is. But yes, there's the step out of bounds right there, but it's that relentlessness makes a huge difference in the player that she is.
Big possession at the end of the third quarter. Cambridge weaving her way through traffic, now baseline. Stepped out of bounds on this end. 5.8 seconds remaining.
Yeah. She's working hard to make a play right here, but yeah, definitely out of bounds. DeJesus, great job of defending that play.
Shot clock is off. Hidalgo wanted the foul, no whistle. An 8-point lead at halftime for the Irish. Now it's 4.
She's given
Jelani Cambridge has brought the Buckeyes back. 10 minutes remaining here in Columbus. In search of their first appearance, the second weekend of the dance in 3 years. Notre Dame's trying to make it 5 for 5 in year 6 for Niele Ivey. They have been a mainstay in weekend number 2 of the tournament, and their lead to begin our fourth quarter is 58-54. Nell Fortner, Roy Philpott, Niele Ivey, an outstanding point guard in her own time, an incredible coach in South Bend with her top point guard and one of the best in the land, Hannah Hidalgo, putting up huge numbers again versus Jelani Cambridge, a second-team AP All-American as well in the Buckeyes backcourt. Irish have it first to start our fourth quarter.
You know, Notre Dame's done it. They've got 3 new players on the floor with Hidalgo and Cass Prosper. You know, they lost several players last year. They've got 3 that they had to incorporate. They're playing well.
Moore connects with the 3 to begin the scoring in the fourth quarter. Big time shot for number 23. Bounce pass to Cambridge from Lemila, and Cambridge turns it over. Moore finally claims it off the shin of Watson, and I believe Prosper was the one that touched it last.
Well, if you don't think these teams want to win this game, bodies falling all over the floor. This is crazy town right now. So ultra competitive. It's like giving every ounce of energy they have. Watson on the floor, Prosper on top. This is going to go down to the wire.
Cambridge with a mid-range, a step inside the three-point arc. Give her 27. Now, we talked about the stars shining brightly. The lead at 5. Cambridge has 27. Hidalgo with 16 points and 9 rebounds.
And Hidalgo's been just a force on the boards.
Step back, Jay, almost on cue. And it stays with Notre Dame.
Yeah, Jelani Cambridge right here, just making a move, shooting behind the screen right there. You know, Notre Dame's plan is to go under the screen so you can stop her from going downhill, but she's knocking down jumpers.
Hidalgo, hesitation, and now retreats. Poked away by Cambridge. trying to force the turnover. It's one of the top defenders in the Big Ten.
You know, you look at Ohio State's lineup, they're small right now. So Cass Prosper has some advantage to be able to post up one of these guards from Ohio State.
Shot clock at 2. Moore up and under and not in time.
Really nice defensive series right there for Ohio State. Again, I'm going to reiterate this. They are at a bit of a disadvantage in size against Notre Dame, but they are bearing down on the defensive end.
Kennedy Cambridge picked up the dribble. Dangerous bounce pass right in the breadbasket of Hidalgo. And that is what she does.
Okay, you see Notre Dame purposely slowing the ball down right now.
DeJesus, corner 3, and it's all net.
And that's exactly why. You're going to try to put the ball, move the ball around, get it in certain shooters' hands, and let them shoot. And that's exactly what Hannah Hidalgo did right there. Slowed it down. She had transition. But here she comes down the floor and finds DeJesus in the corner. Good job, good offense. There you go. Knock it down.
NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallets? Cowtown, the place to be. Next Friday, Fort Worth, Texas, where the Sweet 16 begins. And the winner of this game will meet the winner of Vanderbilt and Illinois. Later tonight, a 7 o'clock Eastern time tip between the Commodores and Fighting Illini. And we await that one, as well as the finish here. Nell Fortner, Roy Philpott in Columbus. And Vanessa DeJesus, the 3 moments ago, now with 13, nearly a steal. Buckeyes need a basket. Hidalgo the swipe. Steal number 6.
It's really amazing to watch her operate on the defensive end, because it's like she has a specific man to guard, but then she has the freedom to go after the ball.
And a chance for 3. Hannah Hidalgo does it all.
Her prowess on the defensive end, but her finish on the offensive end. We've seen this all year long, though. The contact does not bother her. Just like Cambridge, they're very similar in that regard. They focus on the finish. They want the 3-point play, not just 2.
She's got 18. It's almost as if she feeds off of the contact, the steals, and it energizes her on the offensive end, as well as the entire Notre Dame team.
Yeah, she's ultra competitive, and it's like there's just nothing in front of her that's going to stop her. Her focus is phenomenal.
Big moment for the Buckeyes, and DeJesus crashing down on Cambridge will pick up her 3rd foul.
Yeah, it's like Hidalgo has free reign. See, she leaves her man in the corner and comes and gets the ball. It's like she just forgets about her man and is absolutely focused on the ball. And that's where she gets a lot of her steals.
Cambridge the deep 3. Hidalgo skying in for the rebound, a double-double, 18 points and 10 boards.
Yeah, just really being a phenomenal rebounder today. That one, she got up on that one.
17th career double-double for Hannah Hidalgo. She'll call out the offensive set. Plenty of time on the shot clock, off the spin. Gets it back again, rebound number 11. Well, the instincts on defense and at the rack, amazing.
Yeah, and you see Notre Dame really taking their time, using a little bit of the clock. The clock is their friend a little bit right here with the 10-point lead.
Still a lot of time left. Moore, the step-back triple. And Cambridge fighting for the loose basketball. Outside to Watson. Poked away by Moore. Another turnover. Ohio State in dangerous territory, down 10.
Again, giving everybody an opportunity to catch their breath a little bit, but again, using the clock. They want to make sure they run some good offense, get the best shot on the floor.
Under 6 minutes to go. Here's Prosper for three. Hassan Prosper, 32% from three-point range this season. Wide open look. First meeting in the postseason between these two teams since 2017. Off the screen. And a foul called. Chance Gray will shoot two.
She just went and got that one. That was just put your head down and go get the foul. We've got to score some points right here because Notre Dame's playing a possession game right here. If they can slow the ball down and limit Ohio State's amount of possessions, then it's in Notre Dame's favor. But good job by Chance Gray just going to get 2 points or an opportunity for two.
Buckeyes had a shot last year. They defeated the Lady Vols in the second round. Here at the shot, and they advanced to the Sweet 16 2 seasons ago. That same opportunity against upstart Duke. And Ohio State came up short. They're hoping the third time's a charm against Notre Dame, but work to do down 8. Notre Dame is a 6 seed. Watching them this weekend in Columbus. Wow.
Yeah, they surely don't look like a 6 seed.
They don't play like one. They don't look like one. They don't act like one. February surge after a slumping January. A roster that wasn't fully intact. And a foul call. Notre Dame maintains possession. Watson picks up her third.
Yeah, they really found their mojo when KK Bransford came back to the team from the injury. It just helped them so much. And probably one of the biggest places was in their depth to be able to play more people off the bench, but also her experience.
A couple of slow possessions now consecutively for Notre Dame. Shot clock down to 5. Hidalgo contested 3. And it's good! High arching three-pointer. And Hidalgo drops it through now with 21.
Are you kidding me? She is just in a zone right now. She knows it. She's in a zone. Just give me the ball. Just give her the ball. Let her go make a play. But they're using the clock as much as they can. And look, we saw that the other night. Just drawing rain, that thing's so high up there.
That's a rainbow shot that goes almost above the shot clock by a clear 2 feet and drops in. And it barely grazed the net. It was so pure.
Yep.
Amazing. Lead is 11. Cambridge bumped. And that came on the floor. One more look. And this is what she does. The mid-range is just as high. And it comes in so softly. It's got an outstanding chance to drop.
Yeah, it's just a part of her shot. She likes to get a lot of air underneath that shot, and it serves her well.
She just picked up her 4th foul and another steal. Number 7. 8 steals Saturday in the win over Fairfield. 7 more today in the round of 32 against the Ohio State.
This is just speed and quickness and just pure desire to want to go get the ball. And that's how Hannah Hidalgo plays. That's why she leads the country in steals.
Now with the 4 fouls, let's see if that becomes a factor. 188 steals this season for Hannah Hidalgo, and that is a conference record. The Jesus quality minutes. Coles is off the mark. Buckeyes down 11. Gotta go. Cambridge on to Jesus will shoot 2. And that's the 4th on Vanessa.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Notre Dame right now because the clock is stopping and Ohio State is putting points on the board. And that's what you don't want to do. But boy, when people put their head down as strong as Jelani Cambridge is, it's hard to stop them. And you don't want to help off a three-point anybody outside that arc because you don't want to give up a 3. So this is going to be a real challenge for Notre Dame the rest of this game to not foul.
Cambridge at the stripe, 27. This round of 32 matchup, and with that free throw now, with 800 points in a season, joining only Kelsey Mitchell It's only 2 players for the Buckeyes who've reached that number in a single campaign. And off to the right side. Lead remains at 10. Buckeyes in search of a couple of stops. Notre Dame taking its time. Cole's trying to spot Hidalgo. Backdoor cut. Hidalgo the reverse. And about the only shot she hasn't made in the second half, but she was fouled.
And that's a foul that's really frustrating for a coach because she had a terrible shot. So she just got bailed out on this. You just got to let her go and do whatever it takes to not foul. I didn't see a whole lot there for a foul, but don't even put yourself in that position because she was totally out of position to make any kind of play at the basket.
84% at the line for Hidalgo. 2 of 3 today. With all the stats, all the steals. She's tied her career high this evening in rebounds with 12.
Yeah, she's been a beast on the boards.
At 5'6". That is a want-to and a desire to be great.
It doesn't matter how tall you are in the sport of basketball. How big is your heart? How does it pump, man? Does it pump fast? Does it pump hard? I mean, is it for real? Is it passionate? Hers is. Does all those things.
3 minutes to go. Winner advances to the Sweet 16, and a turnover. Kit sails the pass out of bounds, trying to spot Gray. Oh, and you can feel the pressure mounting on this end of the floor. And Kevin McGuff, so close so many times to get to the Sweet 16 these last 3 years, hosting and falling the previous 2 matchups, trying to change history here today.
Yeah, Ohio State's going to have to speed things up a little bit, maybe trap. Even that was looking to a little full court trap, but even in the half court, try to speed up. They've got to get that ball back in their hands, get down to their end and continue to have shots on the basket.
Neil Ivy's team from the jump was down 11-0. The Buckeyes came out in a swarm of offensive attacks, led by Cambridge. And then Notre Dame never panicked. Out of more, a couple of threes. They were back in it. It's been a game of runs since, but the Irish have been the better team thus far. And the score shows that.
It's experience in your point guard with Hannah Hidalgo, knowing how to lead this team. And I think they've gotten some really good play out of other players. And there's one right there. Cass Prosper for the and one.
72-59. Kassan Prosper.
This is just one heck of a play, and what a pass right there by Coles. Absolutely beautiful pass. Prosper has had a day today.
12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Give her 13 with the bounce. And Ohio State now facing its largest deficit. Another steal, Hidalgo. Her 8th. All heart, all speed.
You just end up watching her and just shaking your head at how she comes, you know, out of nowhere for the steal. So she just kind of lulls you to sleep and comes behind. I mean, you just, Kennedy Cambridge didn't see her coming, you shouldn't assume she's not coming because she's always going after the ball.
Coach, 2 NCAA tournament games for Hannah Hidalgo. 8 steals in the first, 8 steals and counting in the second, and now approaching rarefied air, including the D1 record for steals in a single season, currently with 189. The record is 193, set back in 2019.
Well,
on White 22. The play is under review to see if they're for a possible upgrade to a flagrant 1, flagrant 2.
Oh boy.
oh boy is right. These fans aren't going to like that.
Now, you commented to me, and I would agree that this game has been very well officiated. Ohio State fans here behind us have been on top of this veteran officiating crew, led by the great Lisa Jones, who we just heard from. And there have been a couple of bang calls perhaps that have gone against the Buckeyes, but they have allowed these two teams to get after each other for the most part.
Yeah, this is
I mean, there was a smack.
Wraparound?
Yes, I think there was a slap. Hidalgo felt it. Her reaction prompted the review as Cambridge.
I think Cambridge purposely fouled her, but that wasn't a flagrant foul. That was just going for the ball, trying to stop the clock. And there was no clear path to the basket because Limula was back there. But she's just trying to drop, get the foul, stop the clock.
After review, we have a common foul on the play, 2 shots to Notre Dame.
I would agree with that. And Hidalgo, a deep breath. You want to win a championship. You want to make a run in the dance. This is the kind of player you have to do it.
Well, this is a player that can lead you there for sure. The way she plays, not just her skill. It's not just her skill, although that is outstanding. It is her heart. It is her relentlessness. It is the energy she plays the game with that every teammate on this Notre Dame team can draw from. It makes them want to play harder.
Cambridge forces it up, rejected by Prosper, approaching 2 to play. Try to trap Hidalgo. She'll beat the pressure. And Hannah Hidalgo now 9 straight games scoring 20 or more. And coach, you go back to when Ohio State cut the lead 54-53. Since that point in time, Notre Dame outscoring the Buckeyes 21-6 to seize control in a very impressive way. And Limula bumps on the rim run. She'll shoot a pair.
Yeah, the run after that 1-point advantage, that was quite the run by Notre Dame, but that is, again, that's how they play. They push tempo. Well, they don't always like to push tempo, but they were pushing tempo today in a big way.
Well, they haven't backed down with Ohio State's full court pressure, that's for
right.
sure. Meanwhile, Ohio State without a made field goal in over 7 minutes. So here in crunch time, the Irish and its defense have showed up. Big part of that, Hidalgo with those steals. And closing in on a triple-double with 2 more thieveries. She's got 13 rebounds, a new career high, and the 24 points. Jesus to the ground, kept her dribble alive. And the jump ball, they'll give it back to the Buckeyes.
Yeah, but that's a good job in that press right there. A minute 46 left. They're down 15. They've got to really speed the pace of this game up and create some turnovers just like that.
A.K. Bransford will check back in. Ayanna Moore goes out. And Niele Ivy's team, it has been a roller coaster run this year. Up and down, injuries, tough schedule in January. Cambridge blocked by Coles. And Jelani with a crossover delivers the triple.
It's a big 3. That's a big 3. Set that press. Get back after him right now. Ohio State is not laying down. They are doing their best to try to get this ball turned over.
And Prosper, a timeout was called by the Irish. Well, we've been talking about it all game long as we take a look now at today's Capital One rewarding performance. How does 24-13-8 sound to you, Coach? The most important game of the year with the season on the line in the second round of the dance.
It sounds real good to me, and every coach in the nation would want a player just like that, putting up big-time numbers in big-time games. When the stakes are the highest, when the lights are the brightest, Hannah Hidalgo has come to this floor and absolutely taken over this game in every way possible. Offensively, defensively, to say the least, with her steals. Outstanding day for Hidalgo.
You wanted that graphic color-coded back on Saturday because there's a lot of numbers. 8 steals matches what we saw in their 19-point victory against Fairfield Saturday afternoon. But 24 and 13, that 13 a career-high mark, will leave a mark in this one today.
Yeah, I think the color coding, because it's like code red. This is about to happen right here. She's got the double-double. She's sitting, just waiting on that triple-double.
We'll call it code gold, considering red is for the Buckeyes, or perhaps scarlet is more appropriate, but yes.
I guess you could do code green for Notre Dame. I don't know.
That would work, too.
Yeah,
green and gold.
Yeah, but what a day this one's had.
47 points, 22 boards, 8 dimes, 16 steals in 2 games in the NCAA tournament.
And Roy, she's a second-team All-American. So what are those other 5 players look like?
You have looked at me so many times this weekend, just absolutely astonished with what Hannah Hidalgo has done. And it's hard to think of a singular player that's been better than her and what we've seen this season.
Well, she's that kind of player. She does things that defy gravity, that defy, you know, speed and quickness. You know, and I'm going to harken back to a player that I coached, Tamika Catchings. The relentlessness of Tamika Catchings was so much fun to coach. There was no answer for that relentlessness, and I'm seeing it in Hidalgo. But let me make this distinction. Catchings was 6'1". She was a power forward. Hidalgo is a point guard at 5'6". But they had that same innate hunger. It burns in their soul. It's like, Roy, they want to look at you and grip the soul out of your body. That's how they play the game. And it is really fun to coach.
I can hear the smile in your voice talking about what she's done and reflecting on one of your favorite players that you ever coached. And I'm sure Tamika is watching. At some point we'll see the replay and smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, they're just special players. Some players are just born different. They just come with it. You don't teach a player relentlessness. You can't do it, because that's a behavior. That's something that just comes and burns from deep inside. And when it gets cut loose on a basketball court, or maybe a football field, or I don't know, maybe a track, who knows? But it is really, really hard to combat as an opponent.
She lives in the gym. Her life consists of school and ball. To get away, she'll take long drives. That's about it, and that's one of the aspects that Neil Ivey loves most about her superstar point guard. She's all business. Cambridge, not to get lost in this game. Another contest over 30 points. 7 boards as well. And she's only a sophomore. There's a lot of great basketball ahead of Jelani Cambridge.
Absolutely. Look, she is absolutely outstanding also. It's amazing to me how many great point guards are in our country right now. You can just go down the list. I think I listed 15 today when I was writing them down. They're just spread out around the country, making teams better and making our sport better. I mean, the game is at such a high level right now, Roy, that next weekend's Sweet 16, Elite Eights are going to be crazy.
Yeah, Fort Worth and Sacramento, places to be. Third round, better known as the Sweet 16. Buckeyes call a timeout. The lead at 12, and Kevin McGuff, last-minute instructions for his team. Meanwhile, we're far from being done here today on ESPN. Coming up next, Syracuse, the 9 seed, UConn, the 1 seed, Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd, and the Connecticut Huskies, led by the great Gino Auriemma, the Hall of Famer, certainly front and center, hoping to make another national championship run. And by the way, they've won 51 in a row again, right? The 5th longest streak in D1 history.
Well, he puts those runs together a lot, but what a team he has this year. I love watching Sarah Strong play. I've watched her play since she was in the 9th grade, and she was really good then. But she has herself in a place of just, I'm not sure there's a better player in the country, and we're sitting here watching Hidalgo do what she does. Sarah Strong at about 6'1", and can play every position on the floor. Maybe not the point guard, but phenomenal, versatile player.
Kennedy Cambridge just fouled out. You know, the emotions of March. Remember, she took a tumble in the first half, left the playing floor for a moment, came back out of the locker room, hit her head hard on the floor, and then appeared to be okay.
But she's had a bit of a breakthrough season, in my opinion. Just she accepted her role of being the defensive stopper, and she did it. She dialed in and locked in on that and just has done a phenomenal job. She's third in the country in steals. So Hidalgo is way ahead of everybody in the pack, but Kennedy Cambridge does the job also on that end.
Remember, too, the winner of this game gets the winner of Vanderbilt and Illinois next week in the Sweet 16 in Fort Worth. Notre Dame still has some work to do, but a 14-point lead and now possession. Potentially, Coach, potentially you could see Hannah Hidalgo, Michaela Blakes. And I just want to set the table with you for that for a moment, because that would be another incredible backcourt combo going toe-to-toe. Illinois has something to say, of course, first, but Vanderbilt's the 2 seed, and they have had a phenomenal season under head coach Shea Ralph.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so many great teams this year. So many players, such a high caliber spread out around the country. Michaela Blakes, if you haven't seen her play, and you can tune in and watch her tonight, watch her, because she is something special out of the SEC.
It's a 7 o'clock tip on ESPN2. Vanderbilt and Illinois, 7 versus the 2. 100 minutes to play. Cambridge to Watson, in front of Hidalgo. And Coles claims the rebound, was shoved by Kitts. 41.1 seconds remaining. Now, this will mark the 3rd consecutive season Kevin McGuff's team has been in a hosting position, only to come up just short. And Neil Ivey, certainly a worthy opponent, but you know that this is going to eat at him throughout the course of the offseason, trying to protect this roster and make another run next year.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's a different day and time with the transfer portal, the NIL, and you said the word, protect your roster, retain your roster. It's just, it's different now. And so there's work to be done right when the season's over. There's no more, you don't go rest, you don't go on vacation if you're a coach. Now you go to work. And you have to work to look at the portal, you have to work to retain your roster. It's just it's a different time.
No give up in Hidalgo. In contact against Cambridge. Remember, those two competed side by side as Hidalgo fouls out this past summer, trying out for Team USA. And a moment with her head coach. You know, those two as tight as you can imagine.
How important is that? It's so important. Niele Ivey won a national championship at Notre Dame as a point guard. That's what Hannah Hidalgo wants to do. That's why she's at Notre Dame, to learn from Niele, win a national championship.
All smiles on the Irish bench. Cambridge with 34, gave it her absolute best today. Buckeyes will get the steal. We'll get you up to Storrs, Connecticut for UConn and Syracuse. That game already underway. Another 3. 83-70. Cambridge now with 38. Well, she had a 40-piece earlier this year against Minnesota. Back-to-back steals. Cambridge again. Give her 40 tonight. 41 on the board.
Okay, we got some juice in Ohio State right now.
Lead down to 10. Irish will break the pressure. Moore gets it to Prosper. Precious time ticking away. And the Buckeyes electing not to foul. Well, Jelani Cambridge ties a career high with 41. But Notre Dame flexing on the road in Columbus. And the Irish headed back to the Sweet 16 once again.
straight Sweet 16s for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That is so impressive, and that is not easy to do, as you can see. Hard to get to the Sweet 16 and beyond. What a day for Hannah Hidalgo, Cass Prosper. Notre Dame came in here and would not be denied.
What a game for Hannah Hidalgo, getting the job done in a 10-point victory. The bracket, Notre Dame to the Sweet 16, Regional 1 in Fort Worth, awaiting the winner between Illinois and Vanderbilt. What a game with the stars shining brightly in March, as you would expect. 83-73, the 6th seed survives and advances.